What's going on, guys? Your boy Joey Shake 72 coming at you guys with a video. Should the Eagles go after fucking Eric Decker right now? Well, it's already known to shown right now is that Jordan Mathews is going to be out the door after this year. And don't say he's not. He's done. He's not going to be an Eagle after this year. I don't care what kind of season he has. He's not going to have the best season in the fucking world. He'll be productive, but he won't have the best season of his career. They talked about on Philly radio yesterday that he's not a diverse wide receiver. He can't play outside. And honestly, as much as everyone's talking good about Nelson Agholor, which I can give a fuck about, they said Nelson Agholor has a foot in the door because, number one, he's getting more fucking reps right now. Number two, like I said, he's getting more reps. Jordan Mathews' knee's all fucked up. And then number three is that he's got his foot in the door now, so Nelson Agholor could play outside and he could play inside. And I mean, if Nelson Agholor can get separation and whatnot in the slot, and see what he could do, it is what it is. Both of them might be fucking gone. Jordan Mathews is nothing special. He's just a slot guy, and that's it. That's all he could. That's all he could be. That's all he can offer. I think Doug Peterson wants wide receivers that could pretty much do everything. I mean, Jordan Mathews can't even slide his feet doing a sideline catch. That's how fucking bad it is. He can't even sideline catch and keep his feet in bounds ever. Zach Ertz could fucking do that, and he's a tight end, and he's bigger than him. But Eric Decker is a guy that we can literally. He's a good product wide receiver. I mean, they got Macklin not to fucking, and what I found out was they actually went after Jeremy Macklin because they don't have trust in Jordan Mathews. It wasn't about Torrey Smith. It was all about Jordan Mathews. And Jeremy Macklin could do pretty much anything from the slot or play outside. In case someone gets hurt, then you're kind of limiting yourself to players that can't play both positions, you understand? If you got Jeremy Macklin and say Torrey Smith gets hurt or something happens, he can move Jeremy Macklin to the outside and then they can throw anyone to the slot that's good at the slot. It makes a lot of sense. It makes perfect sense, but it's just not. Jordan Mathews is just he's just not wowing me. He's dropping too many balls. Still he cost us a few touchdowns this year. Just too much. It's way too much. I don't know what else to say about it. Eric Decker is a product wide receiver. He could pretty much do everything and anything possible. He's a guy that does well with a group of wide receivers. Does very well with a group of wide receivers, and he could do the job if you give him the chance. So you know, he came from a, you know, he did very well on the Broncos, and then pretty much went to the Jets, and he did play like shit by himself on the Jets. Didn't do really much of anything. Then once Brandon Marshall came onto the field, he did a lot, and a lot of things were open for him. So that's why I call him a product wide receiver, because he does very, very, very well when there's other guys. A good wide receiver core that surrounds him. I have no problem if they go after him for a one-year deal or whatnot. Just see what he could do. He's only 30 years old. He could probably play for another 2-3 years, probably. I don't know. And see what happens with that. So there's a lot of good news today. You know, Jason Pierre's going to be here for another 2 seasons, which is great. Then he's going to retire, which is, you know, let him end his career. But the whole wide receiver situation, which I thought Torrey Smith was going to be out the door with Jeremy Macklin coming in if that was the case, but that wasn't the case. They're not really fond of Jordan Mathews, and I'm not really fond of Jordan Mathews. It's just he's just not. The guy can be productive. He's going back to his normal position. He'll be productive, but he can't. He can't switch positions. He's a one-position guy. That's all he could do. They can't line him up anywhere else, and that's what the Eagles want. That's not what I want. That's what the Eagles want. That's what they want. They want diverse players. I understand that, because when injuries come into effect, that's where it's going to matter the most. If you don't got players that can play other positions, shit sucks. They have no value. You understand? They got no value. So I understand. They let him walk in free agency next year. I totally understand they're going to let him walk in the free agency. So I have, you know, I have confidence in Jordan Mathews going to have an all right year, but I'm not saying he's going to have a breakout year. He's not going to reach 1,000 yards. He's not going to reach 800 yards. He'll have a pretty all right year. And now he's got some pains in his knee, and he hasn't practiced since fucking early May. So now it's like Nelson Agholor is taking every fucking advantage he can get to get into the lineup and fucking do what he's got to do. He's been playing the slot. They said, but it's fucking OTAs. Like every time they show the Eagles practicing, doing the wide receivers are doing the drill, all the comments are all about Nelson Agholor. Who fucking cares if he's doing the drill good? Who gives a shit? Who cares if he's doing the drill well? Does it really fucking matter? Does it really matter? You haven't even seen him put fucking pads on. Now, if he put pads on, he's fucking wrecking people, and he's going and he's catching the ball, and he's running past people, and he's looking like a whole different person. Then I'll be surprised. But right now, everyone's like, wow, he looks like a new person. He looks like a new guy. Man, he really does that well. I'm like, fucking Christ. Like, we gave the guy 2 years. I understand. Other receivers in the league have had really bad years and then became very good. But this fucking guy has had 2 really, really, fucking really bad years. Not like, oh, he had an all right season with, 600-700 yards. No, I'm talking a guy who even hit 400 or 500 yards. I mean, it's at 300 yards, 350 yards. It's crazy. Like, I just don't know what to fucking do. I just don't know. And it's not looking too good. And it's not that Nelson Agholor has his foot wide open in the door, but he's going to knock the door down if Jordan Mathews plays like shit. He's going to knock the door down if, something could happen where Nelson Agholor could look better because, number one, he could play 2 fucking positions. He could play outside and inside, so he's got more value. And if he plays well on top of that, having that value, he's gonna go somewhere. He's gonna have he's gonna find a place on this team. And look, I don't want to hate Nelson Agholor, but if the guy plays like shit, we've had enough of this shit over the past years, where we bring a player and he's supposed to have high hopes for this guy, and then he doesn't work out, and people are like, oh, give him another year. Then he has another year. Then he sucks even worse. Then it's like, oh well, he's like, come on. It's like everyone's like cheering for him, but at the same time, it's like, dude, if he's not doing the fucking job, he shouldn't be on this team, and he's not gonna fucking do well. That's it. You're only allowed so many fucking chances. Like, give somebody else the fucking opportunity to go do something and see what he could do. But honestly, like, you guys got to relax with this fucking Nelson Agholor shit. It's getting to the point where, look, on Philly radio, they said, Nelson Agholor's looking good in OTAs. He's doing very well. He's barely dropping passes. They're tight passes. They're literally, the ball hits him and it sticks to him like glue now. He's not juggling the fucking pass. He's not juggling catches. He's not doing any of that. But just wait till preseason. Last preseason, he fucking dropped fucking balls like crazy in the preseason last year. Horrible. And guess what that led to? A really bad fucking season. Not just a season of drops, but a season that cost us fucking games. Okay? So, we'll see what happens. That's it. With Nelson Agholor. Jordan Mathews is not going to be an Eagle next year, so no one say he's going to be an Eagle. It's not going to happen. They're not going to sign a big fucking deal. Okay, because they got plenty of other guys that need to fucking sign. And then they're going to have fucking cap and fucking, even with Jason Peters, he's got his year extension now. So Jason Peters is going to play with us through 2019. So which that means is we're not going to have $10 million. We'll probably get about $4 or $5 million in cap from him. We're going to get more we're going to give him more guaranteed money, and then down the stretch we're actually going to have more cap. We're going to have more cap in the future from him being gone, or him, pretty much being on the team his last year. So I'm not worried about the cap. We're going to have now from that, we'll probably have maybe 30 to 34 million in cap. Instead of having 40 million in cap, we'll have about 30 to 34, 33, whatever. Something like that, which is still great, which is still enough money to sign 3-4 players that we need to sign. If they're going to sign 4 fucking players, whatnot, I don't know. And that's really it. So everyone's just got to have faith in what we're doing, and and the whole, going back to the Eric Decker situation, if there's a spot for him on this team, and by preseason, if Eric Decker's not signing, we're literally struggling to the point where there's nobody in the slot that's doing a damn thing, and Nelson Agholor's like sucking badly, they better go sign his ass and get somebody in that spot, because we need that spot covered pretty quick. And we need someone that could beat linebackers and can fucking, you know, get separation. I know Nelson Agholor could do. I know Nelson Agholor could do it. He just has to do it, okay? And he's got to do it. Not only beating the fucking man, creating space, but catching the fucking ball. And I like to see him. Nelson Agholor in open space, we've seen him over the past few years. Nelson Agholor, when he catches the ball in open space, he's not easy to bring down. He's very hard to bring down. The guy can fucking play when he's got the ball in his hands in open space. Forget about it. He will get extra yards like it's nothing. He's very quick. But yes, does he look like he's a different player right now? Yeah, he actually looks a little. He looks like he's more determined. It looks like nothing's really bothering him right now. But we just got to see. So that's all I got to say. I'll be off work the next 2 nights, so I'll see you guys later.